Go ahead.
All right, good evening. I think we're live now, so I'll get my glove out here. I'm ready for baseball season, as you know. But hey, good evening, welcome. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. Something we're going to start doing tonight is doing just multiple smaller videos to kind of see. So if you want to just send this out to friends right now, we're just going to do a quick Bible study that everybody can see. So go ahead and share with a friend right now. Put it out there on Facebook for others to see, and as soon as we're done here, I'm going to post another video that has some of our prayer requests and different announcements and things going on. But this right here can be for everybody to see. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's doing well. Are you ready for a way out of the quarantine? And we are all looking and we're watching on the news where other people are finding ways out. And so what we're going to do is talk about how we're going to find a way out tonight, but it's going to be a little interesting for you. And I want to talk about some people that were looking for a way out back in the Bible. And if you remember, this is a story that you all know. The Israelites were slaves in Egypt. And they had to make things out of mud and brick and straw. They had to make a lot of things, and it was in slavery, and life was miserable. And God sent someone called Moses to let his people go, is what he told Pharaoh. And you know the story. Pharaoh and Moses would go back and forth, let my people go, no. Then we had all sorts of different plagues and back and forth. And finally, the Pharaoh let the people go. And they were making a way out of Egypt. And as you know the story, they would come to the Red Sea, and they were coming on one end, you know, the chariots and Pharaoh's army and everybody on one end. And on the other end, you know, it was just this water, and they felt trapped. And that's when Moses raised the staff. And then the waters parted. The Israelites went across. The chariots of Pharaoh were drowned. And then the Israelites lived happily ever after they found their way out of a tough situation. Is that how the story goes? Sadly, it's not how the story goes. As a matter of fact, if we look in Exodus in chapter 16, all it takes is two chapters, and Moses starts hearing things like this. If only we had died by the Lord's hand in Egypt. There we sat around pots of meat and ate all the food we wanted, but you have brought us into this desert to starve this whole assembly to death. Yes, we had this dramatic, big rescue. They had found a way out of slavery. And then just 2 chapters later, they were asking and wondering about going back to the good old days that weren't really that good at all. And so, it's just something I want to tell you. I don't think any of us coming out of this quarantine are going to go, oh, remember when we were quarantined? Oh, if only we could go back there. I don't think any of us are going to do that. But I do find something interesting. You know, our sermon Sunday was on how God is going to find a way to get us to higher ground. I started out tonight asking you, are you ready for a way out? Well, when God makes a way, there's something that we might need to know. And the Israelites found this out really quickly, and they didn't handle it very well. Here's what God says in Isaiah 43:16. This is what the Lord said. He who made a way through the sea, a path through the mighty waters, who drew out the chariots and horses, an army and reinforcements together, and they lay there never to rise again, extinguished, snuffed out like a wick. Forget the former things. Do not dwell in the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the desert and streams in the wasteland. So this Isaiah talks about, you know, the Lord says how He freed the people from Egypt. And He's telling people, He's telling us now, can you sense it? Do you feel it? God is making a way. But here's something you need to know. It's something that's totally new. Now, something that's totally new can be exciting to people, and something that's totally new can be intimidating. And I think a lot of times in our lives and in our churches, when it comes to something new, we can kind of get what I call the Coca-Cola syndrome. Do you remember in 1985 what Coca-Cola decided to do? They decided to come out with the new Coke. And what did everybody think of the new Coke? Bruce is already back there going like this. Nobody liked the new Coke. See, for a while they had Coke Classic, and then they did away with new Coke altogether and just went back to the good old-fashioned Coke, the way everybody, the Coca-Cola that everybody liked. You see, it just kind of shows Coca-Cola learned. Sometimes people have a hard time adjusting to new things. The Israelites certainly had a hard time adjusting. There was a new promised land that they could go into. But it's big. It's scary. We can't go in there. So what happened to the Israelites? They spun their wheels for 40 years because they weren't quite... They found the way out, but it was something new and they weren't quite sure what to do. So I think this Bible study is relevant to us tonight. It's relevant to the church. It's relevant to our personal lives. We are going to find our way out of this. But I think a lot of us, already sensing, we're already knowing, we just can't wait till things get back to the way that we're used to. We may not be coming out of this into a scenario that we're exactly used to. But I want to tell you, whenever God's doing something new, remember, He's finding us a way. He's guiding us in new directions. When this quarantine first started, maybe you thought about your church and this church, well, how are we going to find a way to do this? Well, God found a way. It involved doing a lot of new things. It involved, some Zoom meetings and doing things online, but God still found a way. And before we go, there's a lot of things I think why we don't like new things, why the Coca-Cola syndrome takes place. We don't like new things sometimes because they're unfamiliar. See, we like the familiar things. Have you ever tried to buy a new TV or new technology or a new phone or a new Zoom kind of thing, and the frustration of trying to get something new to work? Kara from our church ordered me a new tripod to put the phone on so Denise wouldn't have to kind of wear out her hand filming things. And the first Sunday I got it out and tried to put it together, I couldn't figure it out. And what did I say? You know what's easier, Denise? Let's just do it the old way. Well, that probably wasn't best for Denise, and it probably wasn't best for you, as the picture couldn't hold still. But a lot of times we don't like things new because we like things we can control. We like things that are simpler. How about this? Sometimes we don't like things new because new things are uncomfortable. I've showed you this before. This is my old baseball glove. This goes all the way back to 1984. You can add up how old this glove is. I'm retired from softball and baseball right now, but if I was forced to play, I would probably grab this glove. Why? Because it's comfortable. Have you ever played baseball and had to get a new glove? It doesn't kind of feel right and stiff. And what do you have to do? You have to break in a new glove. My dad would put baseball in there. He'd tie a rope around it. He'd put glove oil on it. You see, breaking in a new glove takes, are you ready for it? Work. Putting up that new tripod took work. And sometimes with new things, we don't want to work. We want to just kind of sit back and be comfortable. But here's the thing. Can we really grow if we're not ready to try new things that God has for our life? Because many times in the Bible, what does Jesus say? Behold, I am making all things, he doesn't say old. He says new. And then that means unfamiliar. It means we might have to work a little bit. Jesus gave a new commandment, right? Love your neighbor as yourself and love your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Jesus gave other kind of new things. Take up your cross and follow me. And a lot of people in the Bible didn't like hearing new things. But here's what they forgot. This new thing was a way out from where they were to where God wanted them to go. Are you looking for a way out? Be careful, right? What you wish for. Because a way out is usually into new territory. So, do we become afraid and rejecting of new territory? Because when we do, we can end up right back into slavery, spinning our wheels, even though the quarantine may be over.
So we have to be ready for God to do new things with our life. And I want to show you already, so our attitude is going to be, are we going to be afraid of something new? Or are we going to say, you know what Satan and COVID-19 meant for evil, God can use it and take something for good. Just think about this new technology that we're using right now. I know on Easter Sunday morning we had over 500 different clicks or watches. 500. That's something we probably wouldn't have been able to do here. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to. I'm ready, more than ready to come back here. But we begin to talking. What if we kept kind of streaming things as a way to reach newer people? I have gotten to meet a lot of your family members just being online that I don't know if I would have met if they were in this building. We've been able to see some and have some conversations with some on Zoom meetings. So again, what COVID-19 meant for evil and frustration and fear, God took it and made something good. And I want you to know, I know a lot of you are still dealing with frustration, fear, sickness, loss of money. I don't mean to trivialize anything anybody's going through. But you know what? God is making a way. How's that song go? God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. But remember, how God makes the way is into something new. We have to try new things. Be ready for new things. Be ready for new opportunities. And can I say something? Even if it wasn't for COVID-19, churches, Christians, we always have to be ready for something new. Because things are changing all the time, and guess what? Change has changed. Change isn't what it used to be, because things are changing so quickly in our world. So does the church become afraid of that change? Or do we say, you know what? God is going to make a way for our church through this change. How? By doing what he always does. Behold, I am going to do something new. And Sterling Baptist is going to miss an opportunity. Those of you watching from other churches, your church is going to miss opportunity. If we think, you know what, let's just come out of this and go back to the way things were. God says, I'm going to make a way for you out of this. And can you see it? Do you sense it? What's the word he says again? It's springing up even now. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the desert and streams out of the wasteland. And see, I am doing a new thing. I know we're all ready for something new in our circumstances. Are you ready for something new in your spiritual life? I came across a church website that was kind of looking at this phenomenon. They're already challenging their members. What if we took this time right now just to try something new? Is there something new you can do in scheduling your prayer and Bible reading time? Is there something, how about instead of holding a grudge, we can try something new in being forgiving? How about instead of worrying about our own schedule, we can try something new and say, what's a way we can serve someone? What if we tried something new and just tried some silence and praying and listening? There could be something new in your life. God is ready to start right now, so that when we get out of this, we're ready to embrace other new things. And I had an old friend, Keith Stanford. He's passed away. He used to be on staff with us, and he's from around here. And Keith Stanford used to do a sermon at our church at Western Oaks. He'd always joke about how you would ask how they're doing. And, how's it going today? And what's the usual answer? Oh, same old, same old. And Keith would always stop and say, you know what, though? We got to be careful. Because God is never the God of same old, same old. God is the God that's always ready to do something new. And it's a way out from where we are to where he wants us to be. It's called growth. So are you ready for a way out? I'm ready for a way out. But get ready. It's not a way out into the same old, same old. But we don't have to be scared. We don't have to be intimidated. We can sense it. We can feel it. We know it's coming. That even now, God is making all things new. And it's going to be a new opportunity to grow. And guess what, Sterling Baptist Church? We get to grow in it together.
We're all in this together. So that's tonight's Bible study. And just keep watching for some prayer requests, for some news updates. And if you want to, just share this with your friends. And be sharing just any prayer requests you have in the comments tonight. But we'll go through that a little bit later. But let's be ready to embrace all the new things that God has for us. Have a great night.